Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? Hope you're all doing well. Sorry if I sound a little funny, but I think I'm getting whatever is floating around. I don't know. Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, you're probably right. I will fix that. Thank you. I'll make sure. Boyle. What do I have? All right. I thought I had it right. Thanks for saying that. I went and checked. Yes, we haven't seen Troy in a while. So I saw this press conference today and I have it stopped and we're going to go watch it. I found it on Facebook. Let me look on YouTube. It's much better if we do it there. You get better volume. My brain ain't tracking. Oh my. We'll just watch it on Facebook. Hi, Juju. WBRC6. Yeah, because this is much better volume. So we'll go with that. So let me stop that one. Okay. Even when I looked it up, it showed the other way. BOEY. Jeez. I told you my brain ain't tracking. And I wonder. Well, I ain't going to do that right now. But thank you. I have it changed in one place. I'll have to change it some in the other.
I'm Sheriff Nick Smith. I just want to provide an update on the Johnathan Boley case that took place on New Year's Eve. So where we're at is on Wednesday, December 31st at around 12:28 p.m. Walker County Sheriff's Department received a call about a missing 4-year-old child. Deputies arrived on the scene along with RPS and cleared the residence around 1:02. Once we made sure that the child wasn't in the house, we immediately called for air support from Aaliyah. State canines were there as well to start the searching process. At approximately 12:55 on Friday, January the 2nd, Johnathon, which is known as John, was recovered at the scene by a search group that was volunteering. They were in their assigned grid when John was recovered partially in a body of water. Once John and Buck was found, I requested the assistance of the FBI and SBI to work alongside our deputies to work the scene. They spent Friday, most of the day Saturday, processing and working the scene. They vacated the command post at Cornerstone Church, and I want to thank Cornerstone Church for allowing us to use their facilities last week. Sunday, they worked out of their respective field offices to follow up and put everything that we've worked on thus far together. This morning, Sergeant Pugh, SBI, and federal agents were present for an autopsy this morning. We do not have an official cause of death, but we can rule out that there was no signs of trauma or assault type injuries. Anything official will be pending further testing. We're committed to being transparent as possible as we can during this entire process. Kind of to talk about the father, Jameson Kyle Boley, and the charges that he had that stems from this investigation. On December 31st, Jameson Kyle Boley was arrested and charged with unlawful manufacture of a destructive device, which is a Class B felony. He was also charged with chemical endangerment of a child on 2 counts.
Exactly, Cynthia. Until they have a reason to charge the father for the death of Johnathon, he is not being charged with the death of Johnathon yet. As he just stated, there was no blunt force traumas or nothing. But yes, they are doing an autopsy. And that goes for anyone. It's just until they come out and say something, he is not being charged with that. I just wanted to say that.
Which are Class C felonies. These charges are separate and totally separate from missing John. And also I want to say that, Mr. Boley is presumed innocent until proven guilty. That these charges doesn't mean that he is guilty until he's proven guilty. Once the investigation is complete and we have an official cause of death, everything will be compiled and we will give it to the district attorney for review. Does anybody have any questions?
Why is the father in Blount County?
We moved in Blount County anytime. It's not uncommon for sheriffs across the state when they have high profile cases and things of that nature to send the individual out of county or to another facility. We have several inmates that are Walker County inmates that are in different county jails throughout the state that are being housed just to keep people separated and so forth. You know, we have several inmates that are from other counties as well. So we kind of switch and swap just to kind of keep high profile cases separated from their home county.
In terms of the autopsy, still, the results are not in, but would it be safe to assume that there's possibility of things like that the boy fell off a ridge or fell off into some water or something like that?
You know, obviously, I don't want to speculate on what the cause of death may or may not be. All I can say is that from what was done this morning, that we can rule out the fact that there was no trauma and there was no assault type injuries. Anything else would require further testing.
Do you know how long he had been deceased?
They did not provide that this morning in the initial conversation. I mean, they just got through concluding.
On Friday, you called for privacy for the family. Since then, there's been a lot of chatter on Facebook, maybe even potential misinformation. What's your message to the community right now?
You know, first off, I want to say that I'm very proud of Walker County. I'm very proud of the people who came out and showed this family support. I mean, I've seen high school kids come out. I've seen grandpas and grandmas come out. I just ask that you show the family respect.
And you mentioned he was partially in a body of water. Can you kind of describe what type of body of water that was?
It was, I guess the best way to describe it is kind of a creek, but it pulled up to, you know, there was an area that was pulled up. Not sure whenever he was in it, you know, at what level it was in, because obviously Friday we experienced rain, but Saturday morning when we measured it, it was around 4 foot deep.
Was it a volunteer type team that had found him, or was it a professional law enforcement?
So, you know, obviously we had law enforcement, we had hundreds of volunteers come out. So EMA did a fantastic job of mapping out everybody's search patterns and grid patterns. So this was a volunteer group of pure volunteers that were assigned a certain section to search, and during their search, they recovered John.
And you mentioned that the dog was found with him alive. Was the dog just hanging around that area, or can you describe?
One of the volunteers I spoke to said they saw the dog first, and the dog kind of led them back to where John was.
In regards to the father, can you specify what types of drugs were found in the home?
Methamphetamine.
And then, as far as the dog and all, do you think the dog stayed with the child? Is that the expectation? Or maybe led him that far away because he was a couple of miles away?
It appears that way, that the dog was with him the whole time.
When was the boy found, as far as 1 o'clock, 1:30?
It was at 12:55 is what EMA reported this morning, that the volunteer group found it on January the 2nd.
What was the volunteer group? I mean, you got a hold of the volunteers, obviously going to look for him, but not probably expecting to see what they saw. How are they dealing with this?
Yeah, I spoke with him shortly in a room. They were shook up. You know, obviously, you know, you come out to do a good deed, and when you get there, you may have thought that you have fully prepared yourself for what you might come across, and you know, obviously they were shooken up. I think they had to call paramedics to one female searcher who was having a panic attack. So obviously, you know, keep them in your prayers.
How are investigators doing?
They're good. Like I said, there's, you know, two guys, Sergeant Pugh and Captain Legg. I can't commend them enough for the work that they've done. I'm not sure that they ever went home until John was found.
How are you doing?
It's a challenge. You know, like I said, I've never been through anything like this, and I hope that, you know, that no family has to go through anything like this. But if you do, I think that one thing that we have to be proud of Walker County, and the fact that that's where I'm proud of, is because of the support that they showed this family. And I hope that support don't stop. I hope that support continues in the days to come. It doesn't just stop just because John was found.
strange question, but how was the father informed? He didn't just watch a screen or anything like that?
No, we took him to Blount County. I arranged with the sheriff of Blount County to let the family go make that notification in person.
And if him moving to Blount County, is that for his safety?
It's just general, just to keep him separated from the county and people he may know here in the jail.
And I know that you guys had thermal imaging up, around the clock essentially. Some people are asking how possibly the dog was missed on thermal imaging. Can you explain that?
I can't really explain that because that's not my area of expertise. We called out every resource that we had available. We had multiple aviation divisions from Jefferson County, Aaliyah, Coleman City. We had drone operators from several search and rescue groups. I can't answer that question.
It's early, but have you learned any lessons from this investigation in terms of how to do this type of search better down the road?
Obviously, I think once we get all of our information back, when we get to review everything and get to really sit down and think, we can, you're always going to find things that you can do better. There's no doubt about that. But obviously, as well, this presented challenges. Where we're at, and the lifestyle that was taking place in the home with explosive devices and things of that nature, obviously created challenges that we, wouldn't necessarily ready to see. And so it was much more than just blazing through the woods looking for a child. It presented challenges.
How long was the delay because of that finding explosive?
The delay was delayed around the residence. There's a lot of misinformation out there. The delay was not delayed for a search that other than the immediate area of the house. Now, the following day, once you got across the road, several volunteers were reporting and mapping that they thought they had found some type of explosive devices. So obviously we had to delay searches in that particular area, which was across the street, until the bomb techs for the FBI could finish clearing the house and then make their way to assess those potential hazards, which they were cleared to not be explosive material.
And do you know the devices that you found? Pipe bombs, how would you describe them? Fireworks?
They wasn't fireworks, let's just put it that way. I'm not an expert when it comes to bombs and explosives, but the people who are experts said there was enough to level the entire house.
I know y'all got the call on Wednesday. Do you know how long they were missing prior to y'all getting notified?
Sir, you repeat that again?
Yeah. I know y'all got the call on Wednesday. Do you know how long he was missing prior to y'all getting that notification?
There was a delay. Obviously, we weren't called as immediately as he went missing. If I'm taking the information that I have at face value, I'm sure that he did like any parent would do. You'd spend 30 minutes, an hour or so trying to find your child. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that that's what happened, that he was trying to find him on his own. But obviously, one thing back to Ed's question is, in situations like that, because the father was doing his own search and things in the woods, which obviously doesn't help the tracking of, using canines and trying to track the child once, we got notified.
The explosions that the neighbors had heard for several weeks on end, have we been able to tie those explosions with the father in terms of the material that he had?
We have not.
With as many agencies that were involved, what was the challenge of organizing the search? Who led the search, organizing?
Yeah, so obviously, I contacted, as soon as we got on scene, we contacted the FBI state, got everybody in, contacted Regina with EMA. She came out, she did her thing and got as many resources, fire departments and things as we could. She set up the incident command center at the church. And then we just started working and kind of rolling from there, organizing everything, organizing everybody in searches and where they needed to go.
Can you speak to how much she did? Because that's her name has come up several times today about how much she did in terms
Yeah, I mean, listen, I can't thank Regina enough for the job that she did helping organize. It's one less thing that I had to worry about because I knew that she was doing a good job.
Do we know what the father's intentions were with the explosives? Was that like a hobby, or do you have any idea?
I think he had told at one point, he had told an investigator that he knew that what he was handling and stuff was dangerous, but he didn't, he just was at the point where he didn't care anymore.
And he had a military background, right?
Yes.
What type of explosives?
I don't know the name of them. I don't want to misquote it or misstate it.
Were they just one type of explosive or were they several different types?
I don't know the answer to that. Any other questions? All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So yeah, that sounds like he had a lot in the house. You don't have to be military. Just saying that. Yes, he was in the military for 3 years, but okay. And you heard him say it a couple of times. The father was even out there searching himself. So, I mean, I'm not pointing fingers. I'm not saying he's innocent of anything. We will see when they come out with more information. I just, right now, it just sounds just like, I think it was Carolina. It sounds like just a tragic accident. So good to see you in here, Gracie. We miss you. Exactly, Troy. I feel that too. Or something else would have happened to the dog. Yeah, it is easy to jump to conclusions. Very easy. But I mean, you're entitled to your opinions. I'm just trying to keep it neutral. And like you guys, I didn't see or read anything about autism, and if I did, I may have forgot about it. I do have his mugshot. I can show you. So I can only assume that Jonathan and his brother both get their blonde hair from the mother. I wasn't putting her name out there, Cynthia. Yes, Gracie, he is the father. And Gracie, it's not just my phone with Substack, it is also my computer. I'm having trouble with it totally. Thank you, Cynthia. That poor woman's been through enough. And I can tell you, there's some crazy people out there that have gotten in her face. Shame on them. Shame on them. But that's what I had for you today. I just wanted you guys to see it. I told you as soon as we heard something, I would let you know. Oh, yes, they do, Gracie. And there's one YouTuber that is just rolled out his own red carpet and got right front and center. Well, you're welcome, Lynn. Thank you. I know, Carolina. It is very, very heartbreaking. Oh, I will, Gina. Oh, you're welcome, Melissa. Yeah, they will, Gracie. And that's the point. Sorry. But I will see you in the next one. And if they get the autopsy results and if it has anything to do with the father, I will let you all know. Yeah, I already had them, Cynthia. Yes, rest in peace, Jonathan. Very true. All right, thank you all. Bye.